What it do, what it do, what it do. We back at it. Talk yo barber shit. Cuz by Garcia in the building. Got a returning special guest. I mean special guest. My homie, my road dog, my Gemini twin, Brett, the barber. This has been an amazing journey for the point that me starting this to sit down with so much amazing people to hear their journey, to hear their trials, tribulations, everything that they had to go through to get to the point where they at now in life, to see the progress, to see everything that they're enjoying, how barbering has changed the factor of their life, better in their life, showing ownership, showing leadership, speaking out to someone that might be feeling like they're in that same shoe of, down a down point, and they're finding ways to, or they're looking for ways to change that narrative of what people thought of them before, and then to see where they at and where they going now. This platform is not about me or what I have done or what I'm doing. This platform is for those that I looked up to and that came into the business a long time before I did and spoke to me when I had questions of how to maneuver and find my way in this industry, and had open arms for me, showed me how to financially gain, and how to stand in front when you feel like you were standing in back. And I see my boy Pooh, one of the guys that I owe a lot to. I want you to know that, Pooh, I owe a lot to you. Like, from the first day, I got a chance to chop it up to you and hear your journey and your leadership. I take that all the way with everything that I'm doing, dog. Your leadership is immaculate, man. The vibe, the core of what you deliver and how you deliver it in the industry. I will never forget it, and I thank you honestly from the bottom of my heart. You was one of my first to jump on it and talk your shit. My mom deeply loved what you was speaking and how you delivered it, and I appreciate you, dog. But like I said, this is not about me. This is about talk your barber shit. It's about the people that are making moves, changing the game, changing the narrative, showing what the barber industry is really about and how to keep moving it forward, and never letting anybody dictate who you are. Because at the end of the day, when you look in the mirror, all you see is you. So I'm going to tag my girl in. Let's do it, Britt. What?
What it do? What's up, my guy?
Man, shoot, man. Try to be like you.
Man, there's a price to it all. Let me tell you, there's a price to it all, man.
Man. I was thinking the other day. Me and you. We always go back and forth. When it's not even on this type of platform, we always chopping it up. And honestly, man, I really think back to June when we first did this. Like, was it like right on your birthday or a little bit before your birthday?
It was a little bit after my birthday. Yeah,
After,
my
okay.
birthday's in May, so yeah, it's a little bit after. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then just the way that you spoke, the way that you shared, the way that you opened maybe a lot of people's mind of what they thought and changed the narrative. Like I've seen a lot of shares from our platform, a lot of viewers, a lot of likes. I think definitely, I don't think, I know you touched a lot of people's um, mind, and maybe someone that was like potentially like maybe feeling the way that you was feeling, that you gave them the opportunity to say, hey, I can be more than what people see about me or what they thought about me, and look at me now, look at my progress, look what I'm doing, and not even in a ego way, but just to say, hey, I can stand up and be more. So I just want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity, because that was definitely new for me. Um, I just had an idea and I threw it out there, and people like you and other people gravitated to it so well, and shared so much about themselves to people that they really don't know, or people that they do know and probably really didn't know what they was going through.
For real.
But like I said, this platform is always about you guys. It's definitely you. And whatever you have to share, let's just talk. Let's just get to it. Like
Hey, it's been a minute. No, for sure. I mean, I wouldn't even have the opportunity to share my story or bits and pieces of it without you and what you're doing, because since June, dog, the progression, I'm telling you, it's wild. Like, not even just you, consistent talk your barber shit, but being in the shop, posting, out there, going back to school. Like, you're doing so much more than the average. So, it's my honor to sit with you today. You know what I'm saying? And chop it up with you and catch up with you, because it's been too long. It's been too long, and a lot has progressed and changed since then. So
I know, I see the hairdo. The hairdo's different.
The hair is longer. The hair is a lot longer, man. You know what I'm saying? Right? So yeah, I'm just kind of letting it do its thing right now, but still keeping my sides down. I got to have a little something going on. I can't just be out here playing Jane and this shit.
All right.
Yeah, man. So yeah, let's get into it. What's up?
Man, life is amazing. I think I told you I got married.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
That was definitely a big stepping stone for me.
Yes.
Just to know where I was, potentially, to how I've grown over the years to being someone that somebody could look to and say, "Hey, that's my husband." So.
That's good, y'all. I'm happy for you. That's big. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have somebody behind you that's rocking with you, and that's solid. So that's good. That's good.
She's really a trooper. Like, couldn't ask for a better partner in life, partner in crime. Like,
yeah.
So
I love that. Love it.
Then the barbershop, just doing my thing, building my craft, changing, where I felt before when I first started cutting people hair, to seeing how I'm, now at a point where people looking at me like, hey, yeah, I come back.
yeah. That's always a good feeling. That's always a good feeling.
Yeah.
For sure. But we talked a little bit about you going back to school and going to cosmetology school to try and break into the union and all that and get on set,
Yeah.
So is it cool if we dive into a little bit of that?
Yeah, definitely. I'm in there now. This is my 4th week.
Okay.
The school is dope. I'm the only guy in the cosmetology department, but they have both sides. They have a barber side and the cosmetology side. But the women that are in the course with me, they're helpful. They're very knowledgeable. Some honestly maybe started maybe a month before me, but they're open arms, willing to share, give me so much advice. Honestly, I'm having so much fun, like, being in there and learning, and to be able to learn something new and bring it to my craft and share it within the barbershop. Certain things that I can deliver at the barbershop. It's dope. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not trying to rush anything. Everything I learned that in life, everything is due when it's due.
That's right. That's right.
Like, when it came to the whole barber thing, I'm like, people over time always said, Gary, what you trying to get your trade in barber? You like cutting hair, you cut people, but I chose another road, another path. And then it came back around. And then when I decided to do it, then COVID hit and shut everything down. So I'm like, okay, what is the world trying to tell me?
Yeah.
I finally got the paper passed, and now I'm like, okay, I know what my goal was and what it always been when I first started to do, to be in that field where you at. But like I said, it's gonna take time. It's like school. Like you can't rush through it. You got hours, so you got to complete the hours. So once I complete the hours, it's gonna probably be another couple hours before I get recognized in that field where people say, "Hey, yeah, let's bring Gary aboard." And yeah, so I know it's just all about patience.
Yeah, I mean, there's a process to it, but
Yeah,
there's also a lot of word of mouth. I'll start here. Going to cosmetology school, take all that in. Like
yeah,
when you're there, I mean, take it all in because I didn't.
okay,
I went there with the mind frame of I need my cosmetology license real quick because I'm about to go do.
okay.
So and when I put
I'm
myself,
Brett, I'm sorry. Do you have a light? I want people to really see you. Or are you okay like that?
I'm okay. Like I mean, you want me? I mean, do I?
It's like a little dark. I just want people like to really see that. You a great looking person. So I want people.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Is that gonna do anything a little bit better? I don't want to bring it too close and blind everybody.
Okay.
Did that do anything or no?
Not really, but I mean, I can see you. If I can see you, they can say. I just wanted just to brighten it up just a little for you.
Yeah, I don't wanna blind y'all with that. You're good with me though? As
Yeah, I can
long as
see you
you're
now.
good with me.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I'm not tripping about anybody else. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, y'all.
I'm sorry, but continue. I didn't mean to cut you like that.
Nah, you're good. No, take it all in because when I went to cosmetology school, I didn't. I had my own plan in my mind and notion of how I wanted to get there and when I wanted to get there. Kind of, I knew there was a process. I knew I had, after cosmetology school, I got to do a certain amount of hour, certain amount of credits to get into the union. But I didn't take in the opportunity to really learn women's hair and women's styling. So take all that in as much as you can. But once you get out of it, for the most part, it is a good bit of word of mouth. I mean, that's kind of I feel like that's just an LA thing. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like you kind of got to know somebody and know somebody and know somebody.
yeah,
And my path is going to be different than everyone's. I'm blessed to have brothers that work in the industry. So as soon as I started talking that, it was my support system helping me get to the next step, as well as me doing my own work. I didn't just go to cosmetology school, get my cosmetology license, and turn around and be working in TV and film and with celebrities and all that. No, I've worked long, grueling hours. I've not slept. There are times where I've come home and had to decide, do I want to sleep, eat, or shower? You know what I'm saying? So there's so much to it, but yeah, once you get out, and the biggest thing is connecting with people, and I know that you go to the barber trade shows and all that kind of stuff, so that's building that confidence and that comfortability to stepping up to people and speaking with them. You know what I'm saying? Because I call myself an extrovert introvert. I
yeah.
enjoy people, but at the
No,
same
I'm the
time,
same
like
way.
I'm just like, I don't, and then even again, with my brothers being in the industry, I never really wanted that to be like, oh, your brothers, oh, I always felt like I had to do my part. So it's like a nice balance. They
Correct.
helped me, but I still got in there and did my thing.
Right.
And it wasn't an easy thing to do, you know. Um, a lot of people start working non-unions,
Mm-hmm.
and those are usually the hardest,
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot of ins and outs of things that can happen, and that aren't really sustainable for a person who wants to have a lifestyle. I've worked 16 hours, I worked 18 hours, I've had forced turnarounds, I've had 3-4 hour in betweens where I had to come, like I said, come home, pretty much go to sleep and go right back. But all of that, every time I worked on a set, it literally set me up for the next one. No matter what it was, no matter if it was my cuts, no matter if it was my styling, no matter if it was the people, like it just helped me progress to the point now where I've been working on a show full time since August, and I'm learning wigs, I'm learning, how to curl hair better and do all the, how to build a character, because barbershop, set, two different lives, two different styles. The barbershop is the fade, the fresh lineup, boom, 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 which is great. But then on set, you're building a character. You're not going in there to knock out the best fade. Let me tell you, sometimes you don't have time to knock out the best fade. Even if they tell you got time to knock out a fade, you don't really have time to knock out a fade. You feel me? Yeah. So all that, it's an adjustment. Okay. Like how you're doing. You're in the barbershop, you're building the clientele, the rapport and the camaraderie, which I did the same thing, because it's an important step. You know what I'm saying? Being in the barbershop is the base of being a barber, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where you really learn skills and your reps and how to deal with people and all those things, So doing that and then getting on set and then saying, hey man, okay, we're gonna give you 45 minutes with this guy, you know what I'm saying? This is what they need, blah, 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 blah. And you get him in your chair and you got your walkie in your ear and they're telling you, hey, no, we need him in 15 minutes. And you just put in your first guy.
Wow.
So what are we gonna do, right? We gotta knock it out. Yeah. So if we're 45 minutes in the barbershop doing a fade, or 30 minutes in the barbershop doing a fade, like that time gets cut almost in half when you're on set.
Wow.
I mean, sometimes you get a lot of that time, if you know what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you don't, but there are times that you won't get any of that time. Yeah. Even with the show that I'm working on now, there are times where, they're gonna get a haircut and they sit down, or we don't have time, or someone needed this and you just don't have time, or you have to just adjust. And again, being in the barbershop teaches you that too, because you have to adjust to different type of characters, which are clients, because everyone's a character, everybody got their own, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be quick with your tools and your guards, and know what you're doing. It's not just I'm here to cut hair and I bounce. You can day play all you want to. You can day play all you want. Yeah. You can go in there, cut hair, and then bounce. Mm-hmm. But what are you really gonna gain from that?
Yeah, what you building? Yeah.
What you built. Yeah. You're gonna be that barber on the list that they cut and go. They don't really stay on set. I want to stay on set so everyone knows me. And I'm not just talking hair and makeup. I want the producer to know me. I want the director to know me. I want the PAs to know me, the ADs to know me. I want everyone to know who I am. Mm-hmm. And that's because when one thing ends, guess what? I'm getting a call from an AD from the show that I just worked, because he got another gig and he wants me to come. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's always a moving, always. And you gotta leave your shit at the door. You gotta perform every single day.
I like how you delivered that, because what I'm hearing, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or right, it's like what you're learning or what you gain from the barbershop is, at the end of the day, yeah, you're giving a service, but you want to know your client from bottom to top. So if you're in this, like yourself, you're in this industry, and what you're sharing to me is like the same way that I deliver myself in the shop, that's the way I should deliver myself on the set, not just be someone that just want to say, I know my guards from bottom to top. but what else should I learn about whatever everything else that I'm bringing to the service? And I like how you deliver that, like, you know, not just going in as a barber, going as someone that is almost like a Renaissance person. Like you want to learn everybody, you want to learn everything. And when they say, "Oh, who can we get?" When they call you, they call in someone that knows cosmetology, no one that knows hair, that knows how to, yeah. So they like, okay, we got our person because you made yourself very aware to them. So yeah, I like that. I'm definitely putting that in my archive.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I haven't gotten work because I didn't know how to curl hair at one point in time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Being a barber, you know what I'm saying, is great because there's not that. I mean, there's a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? It's a smallish, biggest community. You know what I'm saying? But you also, you know, I just got hit up the other day. Someone to know how to do locks. I don't really know how to do locks. So guess what I did? And I'm also on something. So, but guess what I did? Hey, yo, do. I got something for you. And that's how. And let me pause right there because that's how it happened for me.
Right.
Between my boy Skip, shout out to Skip, me being me and always having myself out there, and God and the universe all connected. He was getting ready to break into the union, and there was a non-union show that needed a barber. And typically to get into the union, you work a lot of non-union hours and non-union days.
Mm-hmm.
So he passed that on to me because he saw something in me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that wasn't a connection between, you know, from my brothers or anything. That was from me and me doing my hard work and him seeing my work on my Instagram and me just being like, yo, I'm here. You know, a lot of it is like you gotta like almost walk around with a megaphone and be like, yo, I'm ready. Yo, I'm here, you know, and somebody will, you know, give you that shot, you know, and yeah, and so now I'll go back. I take still all the stuff that I know from the barbershop onto the set. And I mean, even down to talking to the people.
Yeah.
I may not have a whole lot of time, but I'm asking you about your morning. I'm asking you about your drive-in. Because usually, people think it's great. People think working on set, like, it's great. Don't get me wrong. It's amazing. But,
hey, give me
but listen, I'm up at 4:30, 5:30 every morning because my call time is weird times, 5:18, 6:42. And, you know, so I'm asking people how to drive in because everyone's up before the sun comes up, you know. So it's still those little, you can have quick conversations with people, you know, and that barbershop teaches you that. Mm-hmm. You can get to know someone in 5 minutes.
Right.
You really can.
Yeah.
It's simple. When you start to talk to, when you have those walk-ins come in, that whole time you're usually like on the fly. You know what I'm saying? So on set, take 4 of the questions that you know, 4 out of the 10 things that you usually ask a client in the barbershop and take it to set. Boom, building that. So there's a lot of moving parts in this thing. You know what I'm saying? So barbershop is important. Learning everything in the cosmetology school when you cross over is important. And set etiquette is important.
Yeah. Tell me more about that.
You gotta go in like you're ready to perform.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard because life happens.
Yeah.
So you still have to, before you jump in that trailer, take a deep breath and be like, all right, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. How you talk to people. We sitting here talking like this, chopping it up, you know what I'm saying? You my homie,
Yeah.
Can't really be up in there like that sometimes. Depending on who you're around and what the vibe is, it's a chameleon. You have to adjust to it.
Correct.
You have to adjust to all the different type of personalities that are around you. And I'm grateful right now to have a team that is very cool, very laid back, and, you know, shout out to my team. You know, we've been killing it. So, but that's what I've been looking for. I've also, you know, you get into this to also try and find your base and your family and, you know, a team that you can just kind of, once things, you know, however they run for, and then the next one. But but having your set etiquette and walking into the trailer, you know, same things. I'm just the basis of set etiquette for me is a clean station. Your clean station sets the tone for everything else. If I come in and my station is clean, I'm ready to take on the day. I'm here, I'm zoned in, I'm locked in. There's so many different personalities that you're gonna come across that you have to stay on it. People have attitudes. People might talk to you a certain type of way that you're on the street is not gonna fly, but when you're on set, you kind of have to be like, okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna take that one to the bank.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Dress the part.
Yeah.
I'm not saying go deck, you know what I'm saying? But like barbershop, we wear whatever we want, sweatpants, all that kind of stuff, and that's cool because on set you can wear typically whatever you want, you know. But that's also how you're gonna be seen. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I go in there with a hat on. All I did was throw it on. I got a hoodie on and all that. But still the way I carry myself and still take care of yourself and those kinds of things. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, you know, I feel like I'm babbling about the etiquetteness because there's just so much to it.
Yeah.
You know, you have a department head. You don't really have a boss, that's your department head, you know what I'm saying? And you have to respect that, and there's usually a key, and you have to respect that person, and depending on who else is in the trailer, you have to read the room. You know, there's just, it's such a difference, day in and day out, you know, that you really just have to be prepared for whatever happens. But don't, go ahead.
No, I was sorry. Like, I generally love what you're speaking on because it's a lot of people that maybe are thinking the way I'm thinking as well, and maybe are trying to figure out what are the process to, because like now with social media, you really get to see the barber side of this industry. Like before, it was just about the actors, the actress, the directors, but you really didn't really key in as much as like who are the people behind the scenes, like who are the people that, because you look at these shows, and sometimes now that I'm a barber, I don't know if you do it as well.
Yes.
When you see a movie or a show, you like, I don't know, for some reason you're looking at the hairstyle more than you put like watching the movie. And I know I do that a lot. Like I recently watched Rush Hour. I think it was 3. And I noticed Chris Tucker, he had a fade, but then the hairline was kind of crooked a little bit. And I'm just like so focused. So to hear you now when you said you really don't have enough time to really do your cut because it's like a fast paced thing. So now I get
No,
it.
let me pause.
Okay.
No. We can't blame the crooked hairline on time. You gotta still be able to put the line in good, bro. We can't blame that on time. You still gotta be able to, what if you spraying it on, topping it on, whatever. You still gotta have a straight line, my guy. No, man. Hey, they should have sent him back to the trailer real quick to get that fixed. You know what I'm saying? No, my guy. And whoever let him out the trailer like that should still be ashamed right now. I'm not just kidding.
Oh shit! For real though, because I'll be watching and I'll be like, man. Or do you watch something like when they do the wigs and then the lace would be like kind of like far back? You like, okay, what happened? Like, so it's funny now. But I mean, to give credit, I'm not like, I don't want to sound like I'm bashing anybody, but to give credit, like from the understanding and hear what you're sharing, like it's a fast pace, it's the demanding, it's it can be fun, but at the end of the day, it's still a job, and you gotta do it as a job. And to have you sharing your journey and what you're delivering, like like I said myself, there's other people out here that like, okay, maybe they've been thinking about it. Like maybe I do want to jump in that field. How do I go by? What are the necessary steps? And now you're sharing that. So whoever watches this video and click back and go, oh shoot, let me really listen to this. Oh, that's key information right there. And then you never know, they might. Let me see if I can DM Britton and see if she could share some more information with me. Like so, yeah, this was
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, no, it's been great. I won't lie. I've gotten hit up a few times, and my numbers passed to me, to help people. And my first thing I always say is, go get your cosmetology license. Once you do that, then we'll talk. Because the thing is that you can't really get on a set without it.
Yeah.
It's hard, And then after that, people have to bring you on a special skills waiver, and sometimes they don't want to do that, So it's a lot of working these non-union jobs that are gonna give you because you have to have like a certain amount of days in an allotted time.
I was just about to ask you that. So with the union, non-union, so I would speak on myself. Say I have a lot of people that say they is that what you call ununion jobs, like maybe doing something for a fashion show? Would that be like people that need like a stylist or makeup artist or hair somebody?
Yes and no, because it depends on the production and what they're all the way up under.
Okay.
Because some commercials can be union,
Okay.
and some commercials can be non-union. It just really depends. I've done a couple music videos, and those aren't union.
Okay. So how do you build your credit, or how do you show that you gain hours from that to cut?
So pretty much that's where because so non-union is, I'll give you an example. A non-union show that I worked on, that I did a full season on, is on a streaming network called All Black, which is non-union. So all those days that I work just compiled over a certain amount of time. So let's say so for non-union, you need like, I think it's two or three sets of like 30 days. So all together, you need to work like 90 non-union days in 3 years, or 3 to 5 or something like that. And I know it's changed since then, so don't quote me all the way. You can go on the local 706 page, and it will, break everything down to you. And you can call, because let me tell you, I called every time I thought I was ready to get in. My barber license, I called. She was like, hey, you need to go get your cosmetology license. Got my cosmetology license. Called her back. She said, okay, now you need to get this many hours and, this many days, or this many hours and this allotted days that are non-union. And then like, if it's union, you only need 30 days in this allotted time. And then you come back to me, and then we break it all, send me everything that you did, and then boom, boom, boom. So to get to that part, you have to work hard.
Yeah.
And I was able to toggle between non-union and union. It just happened like that. I didn't ask for it. It just kind of just fell that way. But a lot of my entry days were non-union, and those are just, putting yourself out there, word of mouth, and they build up. Mm-hmm. So let's say you've gotten your non-union days, right? So you've gotten them all, you've worked, and now you're ready to go turn your stuff into the union. Okay, so you do all that. They clarify everything's good. You go there, and you pay an initiation fee. You pay a big initiation fee. You pay almost a $6,000 initiation fee. See, sometimes people don't know that you have to pay to get in there, and then you have to sign a bunch of paperwork. And one of the main pieces of paper that you sign is that they don't guarantee you work. You're still an entrepreneur. You still have to get your own work.
Okay.
So once I'm in there, I just don't kick my feet up and like, oh, here it comes. No. I'm like, oh, I gotta find work, and I gotta keep finding work if I keep wanting to live. So the chunk of it is getting those days done, and and getting into paying the initiation fee, and you still pay dues. I pay quarterly dues. The shit isn't free. I didn't get in it and was just like, oh, this is a breeze. No, dog, how long have we been trying to connect? A minute.
Yeah.
And it's not that I haven't wanted to. just when I'm able to breathe, it's just like, whoo, 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 you know?
Yeah, I get
But
it.
yeah, but gaining that non-union work, and a lot of stuff can flip too. So say you're on a non-union job
Mm.
and it's, I guess, going well, I guess that's how they say, it can flip to union. So
Okay.
now the rest of those days are counted as union days. And you'd rather want to work a union show because you only need 30 days.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? As opposed to, yeah, 90 days in
Mm.
an allotted time. And they give you that allotted time because some of it is day playing. And day playing means you go in and you work for the day. You
Okay.
either go in and you're guaranteed 8 hours, even if you're just there for 2 hours. I've gone on a set and cut someone's hair and left, and I still get paid for the 8 hours. So
Mm.
there's a lot of, obviously, in everything there's pros and cons, right? So sometimes the cons is getting up early and staying really, really late, and sometimes not having the life. But the pros of it is I can go cut one head, two head, or I've been on a set where I just was there for an hour and nothing happened, and they sent me home and I still got paid for 8 hours and still was able to come back here and cut hair.
Mm-hmm.
So day playing you can do, but in hindsight, you want to be solid. You don't want to be chasing the day every day. So let's just say you work a day on a show or a commercial. What are you going to do tomorrow? Right? So now you have all these days in between, and you're in your head like, dang, I need 90 days in a 3-year span. It doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a short amount of time for that many to keep going. Because my very first non-union, when I sent in all my paperwork, didn't count because it fell off. If you know, the 3-year portion of it fell off, so those days didn't even count.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You gotta know, like, when you get into it, it's a grind, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different type of grind. You're looking for work every single day until someone brings you and you're there for the whole season or for the whole week, you know, all that kind of stuff. Or you're just day playing. Or you can be someone's personal. There's so many ways to do it.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many barbers that are in the industry that they're just personals. And that's all who they take care of.
Yeah. I've been hearing that as well.
Yeah. And so that's why I love the industry, man. There's so much you can do with it. There's so much you can do with it. I mean, just like, you know, it's a different lifestyle than being in the barbershop.
Yeah.
You know,
do you miss the barbershop?
I miss the camaraderie of the barbershop.
Yeah.
And being able to, you know, really knock some, you know, haircuts out, because sometimes I don't cut that much. Sometimes all I'm doing is styling and cleaning up the back of the neck. Yeah. I'm not busting out a fade every day. So when I do get to cut my clients, like, I eat that shit up, man. I love it.
Yeah.
So I do go through these phases where I'm like, dang, man, I miss that hustle. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to spend 10 hours behind the chair in the barber shop when I can spend 10 hours on set and get paid to watch if the hair moves.
Right.
If there's a flyaway.
And eat a bagel.
And, man, you know what I'm saying? I you know, shit. They got Crafty. They got, you know what I'm saying? They got all, they you know, essentially, they take good care of you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Listen, some sets, I revert that. My set that I'm on is very good care of us. Yeah. But there are also ones that I worked on where you're just like, I'm not eating that shit. I'm gonna start bringing my own food. So, you know, but yeah, so I miss being in here on a consistent basis, but at the same time, I love what I do. You know, I got into it knowing what I was gonna do. You know, I knew that, and I knew that, you know, and shout out to my clients that still rock with me, you know what I'm saying? Because that's hard, dog. It's a hard, I'm having a hard balance.
So that's one thing I wanted to speak on as well. I mean, and I'm glad that you started to speak on that. One question. You're in the suite now, so you don't. Are you at an actual shop, or do you have your own spot?
No, I have my own spot. I
Okay.
have my own spot. I've
How
had my
was
own spot for a couple of years now.
okay, so how was the transition to that? What do you like better regarding that?
Um, it was tough. You know, the shop that I was at, you know, I love. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? You came through high and tight. You know what I'm saying? I love high and
Yeah.
tight. You know what I'm saying? So it it was a tough pull because I literally had one foot in the shop and one foot on set, and I had to decide.
Mhm.
So that was a tough decision. But I also knew what I wanted to, what my journey is, and you know what I'm trying to do with it. So I transitioned a space in my home as a studio. And so I've gained, new clients. And that's another thing, you'll still gain clients, but the difference is they're going to be ADs. They're going to be producers. They're going to be people who work background. They're going to be different type of people now, but you'll still have I have some of the best clients that people drive from mid city to the valley that
Mhm.
will wait to get their haircut till I'm available. Like
That's
that, just that
yeah,
I'm grateful for that
that's fine. Yeah.
because I could not have anyone right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a transition. So now I'm in my own spot. It gives me that leeway. I don't have to come out of one of my biggest things with cutting hair and being a barber was, and this could just be me, and I'm sure it's not, but I didn't get in this to pay out to be a barber. So I know that commission and booth rent is a thing, but like
Mhm.
I never envisioned that. I never wanted to really be in that position where I still had to pay out, you know what I'm saying? And now I'm not, I'm just kind of bringing in. And so that was a big thing for me too, how I looked at it.
Mhm.
And I've kind of always been like that. And shout out to everyone who's in the shop. I'm not taking away from any of that. I just knew
Yeah.
that I had a different game plan and how I wanted to do things. But when I was a shop, obviously I paid my booth rent on time and and took care of those kinds of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, now it's an easier flow. It's personable. You know what I'm saying? It's one on one. I don't say I take my time, but I take my time to be able to catch up with my people because at this point I'm seeing them once a month,
Mhm.
if that. So there's a catch 22 in it all.
Yeah, then my next question, I think you spoke on that, but I want to kind of recap, is that um, the transition between, well, because I know what to me it sounds like, you let me know if I'm wrong or if I'm wrong on that. Your main focus is the field that you're in. Even though you're a barber, you're more in the world of working on set. But when you first started out, you was in the barber world. Um, the clients that you built over that time before you fully said, okay, this is what I want. How was that transition to let them know that, hey, I'm still here, I'm still available, but only on my time frame. But I still want to keep you as a customer. But honestly, this is where I'm at. And how much clientele did you lose, and how much clientele did you still gain? If you know
Great
what
question.
I
Great question. Great
mean.
question. Um, a lot of them fell off.
Yeah.
A lot of them fell off. There were a lot of people that were that consistent every 2 weeks, once a week. They fell off, and I had to understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I had to be okay with seeing one of my clients pop up on my timeline with a fresh haircut. You know what I'm saying? No, that it wasn't me. But like in that sense, I can't be mad. I'm just like, all right.
Yeah.
But like I have a base of a good two handfuls that still rock with me, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And if and I try, I hit them up on the rando, and I'm just like, hey, I'm opening my books, or if one usually hits me up, I'll open my books so I can get everyone in. You know what I'm saying? Or if a couple start hitting me up, I'm opening my books. You know what I'm saying, to
Yeah.
get people in. So as much as it's on my time, I still try to create time for them that is on their time. You know what I'm saying? Without running myself ragged.
Yeah.
Right now, my off days are Sunday, Mondays. And usually that's typically other barbers as well, but I'm here and I cut, I cut when I can. I try not to cut on Sundays, you know what I'm saying? At least to have that day, but I don't mind a Monday. I'm back on set on Tuesday, but if I can get them in, I can get them in. And that's what I try. And if I don't, I feel bad. I don't feel good about telling, my clients no, or that I can't, or that I'm too busy, because yes, at the end of the day, I'm still a barber and I'm still not at the beck and call of my clients, but at the same time, like, it's on their schedule, so it's a weird pool that, I have to sometimes sit down and remind myself that I'm a barber, but I work in the TV and film industry. And that's how a lot of, and that's what I'm saying. Like, my clientele has also shifted. You know what I'm saying? I do cut a little bit more people who are in the industry, therefore it's a little bit more understandable.
Yeah.
So but yeah, so it has its ups and it has its like moments where I'm just like, dang man, I feel so bad that I cannot cut you. Like, I just can't. Like, I just can't. Not that I want to, I just can't.
You know what's funny? I want to, when we first had our conversation, we sat down like this. I know you was like a little nervous. You was like a little shy. But once you like started getting into it and started delivering what you felt passionate about and what mattered the most to you and what you wanted people to understand and see what you're bringing into this industry, I started seeing that shift and I started seeing that confidence. And now sitting here with you, like you just like you own it, like And I want to know. I know we spoke about it before, and not maybe just about barbering, but I know you wanted to get to a point on a platform where you can really speak about your journey and really help people see the better side of themselves. Are you at that point now where you're starting to do that? Or are you thinking about doing it?
Ask me that in a different way.
Like, just like maybe going to places and speaking. I know you say you had, or people will tell you that, you have that room presence to like really uplift and
Yeah.
yeah, like, is that something you want to still do? I think that was the
Um,
conversation we had before. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, my brother just got married like a week ago, and I barely even spoke at his wedding. I mean, I know once I get to it, I always end up relaxing. And it's funny that you bring that up because my team always talks about how I should, teach a barber class for, other hairstylists in the industry. And it's just like, when they say that, I'm just like, that's cool. But then, like, I'm thinking in already in my head, like, man, that means I gotta talk in front of everybody and do that kind of stuff. But I haven't. And with you saying that, it's probably gonna make me think about it more because we all have a story to tell, and everyone's is different, and we all have a journey, and everyone's different. But somewhere along the line, you know, people can connect, and being, black and queer in the industry is just as much as a thing as being black and queer in the barbershop.
I like that you said that. I won't, if you feel comfortable, how is that being valued now within your field? Do you see a lot more of you in there dominating, being more control, having the lead to bring on people and not just like, but I don't want to say that sound like a full structure, just like that only. But where you see someone that looks like you and is a power player and is gravitating other people in the field to bring them all together. Is that something that you're seeing more in the industry? Like, yeah, yeah.
you know, it's to see someone like me. No, I haven't come across anyone that, you know, but, you know, of course there's, you know, people from the community in there, you
Yeah.
know, I just haven't come across a whole lot of them yet, you know, and, you know, there's a lot of men that are hairstylists that I've met, you know what I'm saying, that are part of the community or whatnot. But yeah, I haven't met anyone I'd say that, you know, would look like me or, you know, things like that, which is fine. You know, I'm growing into a confidence within myself and within my own being that I don't need I don't need to see someone that looks like me to feel comfortable and feel like I cannot dominate.
Okay.
Because me going in as I am, I already have the upper hand.
Yeah. Preach. There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do you feel where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
Like, there's, you know, I check off these boxes, and some people don't want to check off the box. But listen, that check off the box is gonna put me in a situation that's gonna have me progress, not just within my passion, within my career, but as a person, because it allows me to stand stronger in who I am and speak up when, you know, and when things are weird or, you know, things are said. I don't all the time, but there are moments where it's just like there are things still, you know, the barbershop and set, they just look different. Sometimes the conversations are exactly the freaking same.
Okay.
You know, so not saying that on set sometimes you have to pick and choose. In the barbershop, you can cuss someone out all you want to, right? Someone says some foul shit, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes on set, you have to have that. You have to really almost stop and ask yourself, not is it worth it, but what is it gonna bring?
Yeah.
Because again, I already come in and I dominate because of who I am, the way I look, the way I carry myself. And sometimes the more those type of people speak, I don't want to shine a light on me. I just want to know that when I walk into the room, you guys see me. You don't have to shine the light on me. And so sometimes things happen and you don't want that light shone on you, because I am still somewhat of the odd one out.
But you're the best part of it.
Yeah, which is the best part of it. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's this weird, like, I have the upper hand, and sometimes that upper hand is like, you really have to decide how you want to use that other upper hand.
Yeah.
And I don't ever want to discredit my community. At the same time, it's just like, what do I do?
Correct.
Do I keep going, or do I say something that can, you know, just put it like this? I've been in situations where, you know, pronouns are a thing, you know, and my pronouns are they, she. And, you know, sometimes you hear banter where you're just like, ugh. But, you know, you kind of keep it moving because it's almost that choice of, you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth me sticking my neck out right now? Is it that bad, Britt? You know what I'm saying? And then you carry on, but then I come home and I'm like, shit, I probably should have said something.
But you already did.
But sometimes you don't.
I know, but I get what you're saying. But just the point that you're there and they have to feel a certain way. You spoke your value right then and there, because they looking, oh, she made it. She's here. Damn. You know, whatever they feeling, you can't stop. You can't stop me because I'm here. I'm still moving forward. So sometimes the silent knife to the throat.
That's So I appreciate you saying that. I appreciate you saying that, because I mean that, you know, there are moments where I'm sure like I've made it known because I got up and walked away, and made it very known that I got up and walked away. You know, so you know I appreciate you saying that, because I do try my best. You know, but I also have to, again, there's set etiquette. You know. And if it ever gets to the point that's crazy, then it's, you know, obviously you say something, but you know, for the most part, you're just like, man, these motherfuckers
just don't know. It's easy for me to say that now, but if I was in that predicament, I probably, oh yeah, you haven't seen the ego inside of me yet.
Yeah, no,
You know?
but you're gonna take your moment. You're gonna step outside the trailer. Trust me. You're gonna be like, I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna go. But but again, like I said, each thing has built me up for the next thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
What is your next thing?
oh man, that's a tough. It's not that it's tough. It's just funny because I just got asked that recently of what do I want out of the being in the union and working in TV and film and all that. And honestly, I'm just enjoying it. I'm learning as I go along. There's a lot of extended education. There's a lot of, I really right now, I'm trying to dive more into styling women's hair, because that will open up a lot of doors for me, just in general, because you can, people are looking for barbers, but they're also looking for someone who can barber and, do a quick bun or, do a blowout and do all those kinds of things. So
I'm glad that you said that in the beginning, because when I was first given the idea of this, it was like, they need more barbers. So just go get your barber license, and then you could just, because I think I was kind of, maybe I heard wrong, or I was listening incorrectly, but I just thought like, once I got my barbers, I could just come in as a barber. And then I sat with you, and you was like, no, you need to get your cosmetology. And then if you want to work as a barber, you could do that as well. But now that I'm doing it, and learning the book and everything, I'm like, why not just learn it all and be great at everything? Not at one time, because it's gonna take me time to be great at everything.
right,
But not shy away from learning it all.
right.
And, yeah, and that's what I want to do. I want to learn it all, but I want to gradually be great at each thing that I can do. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, that's the one thing I honestly love about working on sets, because you're around so many people who are good and will show you, my department head, the way they cap wigs is different.
Mm-hmm.
Or the way they, cap the head with the wig cap is different. One might put a pin here instead of a pin there, or the way they pin is different. So you're learning all these little tricks to the trade no matter what. And you can come into the union as a barber. You're just under as a makeup artist, and nothing counts. Your insurance doesn't count. All that kind of stuff doesn't count. You just come in as a barber. You're not really, yeah. So that getting that cosmetology license sets that apart. So you come in as a hairstylist, you know what I'm saying? But you're a barber. Same thing, like on my paperwork, my first thing is barber, and then but just how they have it, legality is like that,
Let me ask you this. Have you been credited for a project, like your name only? Or in the group, I guess?
Yeah, so I have an IMDb, and Lace. I worked on Lace. I did the full season of Lace. I was their barber. My name was, with my department head and everyone that worked on it. My name has been on screens for the past couple years.
So my next question is after that, because I know I said what's the next? Have you been qualified for an Emmy?
Have I been qualified for an Emmy?
Yeah.
No, I have not been qualified for an Emmy. I don't think so.
Okay.
Do they call you? Because I ain't got no call yet.
No, is that something you will look forward to?
Some of that stuff comes with this weird immense of pressure, and I'm not the type that puts that kind of pressure on myself. If it happens, it happens. A lot of the people that are being credited Emmys now have been in the game for fucking long. they've been working their ass off to get that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm not saying it won't happen. But that comes with a lot of time and putting in my work and, you know, becoming a master at my craft. And that's after, you know, 10,000 hours, you know that, you know what I'm saying? So even though I just want to say it like this, even though I work in the TV and film industry and I'm in the union and all that, I'm still green.
Yeah.
I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I'm still learning different types of set etiquettes because every set isn't the same. So you have to become a chameleon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to, you know, you'll be around people that you don't really, you know that you wouldn't mess with on the regular. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm grateful right now. I'm working on a set that I haven't come across anyone like that. You know, but I've had my fair share of shit already.
Yeah.
And I know I'm gonna have my fair share of others too. So I'm not saying like, you know, since I'm in the union now it's glitz and glam. No, there's still a lot that comes to it. But yeah, I just yeah. I kind of lost my train of thought right there for a second. So
No, I get it. Is it if you can share, is it a project that's coming in the woodworks that you're very excited about working with?
I don't remember if I signed the non-disclose on this one.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I wish I could phone a friend right now because I really want to share with you because it's already their season is already up and running. Just what we're filming hasn't come out yet.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if I really can speak too much on about that. Maybe I'll talk to you, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's been great. And I'm hoping it, you know, keeps running so I can keep learning. You know, and that's the biggest thing for me right now. I just want to keep learning and keep diving into hair and what it all entails, and not just hair that's on the head, like wigs, man. Like wigs, learn wigs.
Do you do units? Are you doing that right now?
No, I haven't got on the unit game. I haven't. Like that's, you know, people still do that in the industry. They build those units and they sell them, or they build them like Stacy Cuts and Carla Farmer. Yeah. You know, for, you know, Stacy Cuts is you know, she works with Lil Nas X and doing all that. You know, she's building that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you essentially build a character.
It's funny. He recently did a video, and I thought the styles he was rocking was like actually his hair, and he took the piece off, and it was actually a unit. I was like, okay, shoot that.
Oh, my brother.
Huh?
Or is this which one?
Oh no, X. Well, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, no, she does phenomenal work.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I shared this last time. Like, I've been following her before I even freaking picked up a clipper, man. Like, Stacey Cuts is amazing. Yeah. You know, so and you know, she's worked her butt off to get where she is, and they're being, you know, she's being Emmy nominated. You know, so it's stuff like that I do sit back and I'm like, yo, that's dope. That would be great, you know. But I don't put that kind of pressure on myself. I'm just like, I'm learning in life to just go with the flow, but also, you know, learn and dive into the things that I want to know more about. And, you know, wigs right now are a huge thing in the industry, like wigs, because a lot of people do period pieces, you know. So
your brother, the cut you did for your brother, it was dope. That was
funny. That was funny. That was great. It was such a great time. But yeah, man, it's been good. I won't sit here and say that it hasn't been. It's been a blessing. Everything that's come from it has been a blessing. I've been working my butt off, and like that's what it is. Like it's a different kind of grind, man. And like once you get into it, you'll see. You know, it's good, but you're gonna have like it's the work-life balance. You know, it's a little bit different because you can't always go home when you want to go home when you're on set. You know, the barbershop,
So
you know.
this is something that I've been having like jokey conversations with my lady about. So the like you're speaking on the time frame, the maybe do you do like a lot of traveling with some of the gigs that you do? Does it take you out of like California or any other location?
I haven't been well, yeah, I haven't been out of the state yet
Okay.
for work. I say yet because that is something that I do want to do. I would love to work on a film that takes me somewhere. You
Yeah.
know, that would be cool. Like those are the kinds of things I want. You know, I want to travel with it and see what else is out there because there's so many different type of markets. Like,
Okay.
you know, when you start to go out to like Arizona area, like that's all like the Hallmark network, you know, so that's all film, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, and then, you know, Atlanta is just booming, you know what I'm saying? So those are, you know, I want to do stuff like that. That's going to take me out of California. But no, but location wise, yeah, most times, depending on the show, I'm
Yeah.
on different locations. Like this show that I'm on,
Mhm.
we're at different locations all the time. Like this past week, we were out Simi Valley one day, like I mean up in the mountains, you know what I'm saying? To the point where like this rattlesnake handler is walking around. Like that's the kind of atmosphere where it's the kind of atmosphere we're in. So it's not always, you know, on a set or
Yeah.
on a lot. You
Yeah.
know, sometimes your sets and your locations you drive to, you're outside, you know, and I'm talking about outside in the heat in the rain. Like
Yeah.
I just a couple weeks ago, we had to keep remember when it just started raining out of nowhere a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had to keep stopping because the thunder they called I guess a 30-30, like if the thunder and lightning are within 30 seconds of each other,
Mhm.
we have to stop for 30 minutes.
Right.
So every time we got close to rolling again, boom, there was a thunder and lightning. So we were for a while. It was a bit of other stuff going on, but you know, for like 2 hours, we were just stuck.
Yeah.
We couldn't do anything. By the time we wanted to shoot, the rain was coming. By the time, you know, the rain stopped, thunder and lightning was still happening. And guess what we're all under? A metal tent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know what I'm saying? So for everyone out there that thinks you're just gonna be sitting on a nice little freaking lot every day,
Yeah.
no, man. Depending on what you're working on and the type of show that it is, this is also, you know, an action-filled show. So I'm not surprised that we're in the locations that we are. So yeah, locations change a lot. They can change a lot. But then also on Abbott's on a lot. So I was just, you know, going to their lot every single day. Or not every single day. I was there on Mondays. You know, for a minute I was doing 6 days a week on set, and that was tough.
Yeah.
I was on Abbott for Mondays, and then everything else was Tuesday through Saturday. But you know, Abbott was perfect. It was on a lot. I went in, I cut, and I left.
Okay.
But then on the other show, I'm there 10 hours. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And maybe not cut any hair. So just because you go in as a barber don't mean you're going to be cutting hair every day. Like that's what I think needs to be understood too. Just because you're a barber and a hairstylist in the union doesn't necessarily mean you're going to literally pick up your clippers or your trimmers every day, because you won't.
That's and the reason I want to circle back to that is because the relationship prior to like being with someone and like me being married, how do you time everything accordingly to make sure that your companion, with everything that you're building, the time that it might take for you to be on these sets away from so long, you know, how you had to divide everything up between your clientele and then being a part of the union and what you're doing. How do you circulate all that back to your relationship and make sure that your companion doesn't feel like she's being left out with everything you got going on?
Um, you know, I've learned that life sometimes the journey and the path changes, and I stand in immense gratitude for everyone who's been a part of my journey this far. Uh, you know, but right now my main focus has been myself. So
Okay.
I've been getting back to the core of myself and making sure that I can take care of me, because without taking care of me, I'm no good to my family, to my loved ones, or the ones that I do care about.
Correct.
So a lot of, selflessly have been making sure that Brit is okay first, and then everything else will flow. Um, and that's relationships. That's in relationships with anyone.
Yeah.
If I'm not good to myself, what am I good for? So the main thing is getting back to my center, and whatever that is. Like I hit you up, I was like, we may be a little late. I've started kickboxing. I've never kickboxed before. I've been
Oh,
doing
wow.
that for
Okay.
a month, like, and it's been great. I'm reading more. I'm diving into, learning more about myself. I'm, back in therapy, which everyone should have some form of, you know what I'm saying? So
Trust.
it's just really getting back to the core of who I am, and my center. And I believe with doing that, love, life, and all the things in it will be balanced and be settled. Uh, so yeah.
Well, I mean, since you handled that so nicely, and I feel like that goes with law of attraction. And I know I asked you that before when we did this a long time ago. So, is it still the same for you, or what have you learned differently with a law of attraction that you like to add maybe to what you're feeling now?
My thought process has changed a lot. I've since you and I have talked last, I've changed a lot everyone changes, everyone grows and does those kinds of things. So I've let go of a lot of old things, and I've allowed a lot of newness to come in. And that goes even with, being comfortable doing women's hair on set. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm opening myself up to things and people and experiences that I wasn't before. So as of right now, the good that I'm putting out every day is coming back to me in whatever form or fashion that is. I've been really, really blessed to be able to take the time to get to, sit down with myself and really sit and find the law of attraction, and, do, put out my good. So whatever the universe has for me will come to me when it's ready.
Yeah. Um, what is it that you would like to share that you felt like I missed, or didn't maybe ask the question the way you wanted me to ask the question? Is it something that you would like to, share? You have the floor. This is for you. It's like always like me giving you your flowers to speak your truth. So, is it something that that's been on your mind lately that you want to share to, someone that's looking, that's definitely gonna look at this later on, and like, hey, I'm glad that she shared that, she spoke on that. Like, what is it?
To take it a day at a time, to take it a moment at a time, because we're not promised 30 seconds from now. So as long as each individual does their best, and each day, then what else can we do as people? um, when it comes to being in the union, do your best. Go in there and know that you're gonna learn. Like, that's the biggest thing that I'm seeing, is just being open to learning and being receptive to change. And um, whatever you do in life, do it with your head held high and your chest out, because people will come try and knock you in your jaw and punch you in your chest. But as long as it's up and it's out, they can't. Take care of your mental health, because working on set takes a toll. So take care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, all that. I think that's the grand scheme of all this that I've learned, is that it starts with how you take care of you. Like how you set the tone for your day is what's gonna set the tone for what's gonna come to you. You know what I'm saying? Like if we wake up and we just take everything with us, obviously you're gonna think everyone has an attitude towards you or this, that, and the other. You know, it's really for me. And I hope that people get something out of all of this. I feel like, you know, I've rambled a little bit, but you know, it's really just about taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
That's the key. Like, take care of yourself, you know, and just zone in, and everything else will come. Everything else will come. We can't force things to happen. They're gonna come when they come, and we just gotta fucking ride the wave.
With the whole new layout for the industry, with the Barber and State Board, as far as like, you know, when I joined, I had to go through the trenches of, you know, being in school, when school shut down, learning it from online, and then getting a chance to go back to school. But prior to that, I still had to do the practical and the written. But now everything is just about the written. How do you feel about that? Like, do you feel like that stage of not really focusing on the practical part takes away from anything, or does not at all?
Practical is important.
Yeah.
We can all pass a test, man. We can. We can read a book and go and pass a test, but how do you know that? I mean, you know, because my thing is, even once you get your barber's license, all that, you still have to take extended education. So if you're in this mindset where like, oh, I don't even have to do practical, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to go take that extended education, because that extended education, $200 a class, $350 a class. You know what I'm saying? You really want to, you're going to really have to want that extended education.
Mm-hmm.
Because going in there and, so you're still doing hands-on. Are you working on the doll head and everything while you're in there?
Correct.
And then what are they? And there is just no practice. So they're just skipping the practical part, and you guys are just going by the book and just like doing whatever's in the book. Like I'm trying. Okay, so yeah. And then like, so because if they're like, oh, because what are you doing now? Like layers and all that.
Layers, highlights, doing the perm and stuff like that. But then they're also teaching me like the manicure and stuff like that.
Yeah, see that to me, like the manicure, because it's a whole different thing. Like when you get your esthetician and manicurist license, it's not under your cosmetology license. You still have to go and get it like another type of license. So that portion, whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think it's important. You know, maybe not. I'm not like cosmetologist wasn't first for me. So when you ask me this, I'm thinking about the barber sense of it.
Yeah.
We can pass a test and be like, hey, I got my barber's license, come sit in my chair and I can't do shit. Because if you're mentally saying that you don't have to do a practical 9 times out of 10, some people in your barber class or your barber school aren't going to cut hair at all because they don't think it's important. They just need to get the barber license, right? So they can go to the barber shop and make money. Mm-hmm. Not everyone's mind frame is like yours.
Yeah. Like
wanting to, you know, okay, maybe I know that the practical is not going to be there, but I still want to make sure I know how to shave in the 16 different. You know what I'm saying? You want to know your steps.
Yeah.
Because like when I went to school, I know for sure if they told us that we didn't have to do a practical, 90% of the people that I was in school with probably wouldn't show up to read a book.
Facts.
And depending on where you're in school, they may, because like the school that I went to, real people walked in. Some of them aren't like that. Some of them, you're just cutting a doll head all day. Who wants to cut a doll head all day?
Right.
You know, so yeah, practical is important. I think that's hey man, when you get your driver's license, what do you have to do? You gotta go drive the car with somebody in, right? They want to make sure at least
just imagine all you have to do is just go take the test, and that was it. You got your license.
Like, come on, like that's to me, it's like you gotta have it, man. Like that, I think it's important. Yeah. Because everybody's gonna be out here just saying that they can cut hair. And I'm not saying the practical is gonna prove that you can cut hair.
Yeah.
But it's saying that you can be in a, that you know how to, you know, that's basics. You drop a comb, how are you gonna pick it up?
Correct.
You gonna pick it up and spray that comb and use it on that same person's head, or are you gonna pick it up and put it in your barber side real quick, or whatever, however your steps are for your cleaning.
Correct.
That's the important stuff that's on the practical. That you know, that you properly know how to hold a straight razor, because what if your instructor's holding it wrong?
Right.
What if your instructor for the past 1,600 hours has been not doing the backhand, and you go in there and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You go and nick someone's neck instead of having someone that is actually professional and say, you know, you didn't do that right. Come back for it. But I think the practical is important. I don't, and maybe that's just me that I'm pissed off that I had to do it. Especially the manicure, man. That was foul. So yeah, maybe I'm one of them where just like, oh man, if I ain't gonna lie, just a little, I feel the same way. They gotta do it, I gotta do it, man.
Because they changed that shit like right after I was done. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was like, man, like that's what we doing? Everyone, hey, at that point, everyone's a barber now.
Right?
You know, everyone's a cosmetologist now. Man. Because what if, like, for real, man, especially with the perms and the highlights, if you're not, if you aren't putting it on the right piece of the hair or something like that, that's what that's for.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure they thankfully didn't fail either of them on the first round, but I don't know if they tell you what you messed up on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah.
It's important. Because a lot of people are grimy, and when they drop a comb, they use that same exact comb, dog. I've seen it. Like, come on, you know? So it's just, and I even with COVID, I mean, you really found out who the crusty barbers, man. You found out for real. But yeah, I think it's important. I think it's important to, you know, have that. And I think, like I said, a little bit of it's because I'm probably bothered that I had to do it twice. Not just once, dog. Twice.
That's all right.
Like, come on. But no, it's, you know, it like that kind of stuff. Education's important. All that's important.
I'm going to ask you this question, and then we can wrap it up. As far as, because you had spoke on it earlier, and you was like, I noticed that you go to these events for the barbers and stuff like that, and, you know, I learned the platform and, you know, hear the speakers, the influencers that are, you know, moving very well in the industry. Do they have anything similar to that for like this field?
I'm gonna say no. I've never heard of like a hair show for people in the union. I know that they, you know, there are classes that they'll offer, like extended education and things like that, you know, but for the most part, I haven't heard anything about any hair shows that are for people in the union or anything like that, or barber shows or anything. It's just, they have classes, you know, they have wig classes and stuff like that, but it's not really, there's no real, I don't want to say there's no real time for them, but there's really not, you know, this industry is always kind of going. But if I'm wrong, I hope that'd be cool, you know, even if it's just for like connecting with others. But, you know, I haven't really heard anything about that. No.
And then I know you spoke on it before, but I want to make sure I'm clear on it. So it's like the state board, where you can call the state board and get updates and go online and get information necessary for the barbering. The union, is that set up the same way? Like you can call the union and ask whatever questions you want to ask of how to get your hours, build your hours, how does the steps work, and is the union platform?
Yeah, I mean, there, you know, I was blessed enough to work with Polly, and I believe she still works in the office, but to be honest, a lot of what they're going to give you, the information that they're going to give you, you can get right off their website. Everything's kind of broken down, you know, but the first thing first is to get that cosmetology license.
Okay.
And then, because that's going to be like, you know, the half of the golden ticket, the other half is the money, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
cosmetology license, well, cosmetology license, get your days, because even online it'll tell you how you're, what, you know, the number and all that kind of stuff and what all that means. And then once you get your days, you can take that to the union and you send in everything that you need. And when it gets confirmed, they send you pretty much everything that you need to sign up and to, you know, move forward with that. So my suggestion would really to go onto their website, and then if you have any further questions, reach out to somebody, because most of the time they're gonna everything right online.
Okay. Okay. I knew that a little bit for the barber, but in there, I think I asked you, and you told me to, you know, check out the union platform, and I definitely followed their Instagram page. So yeah, once I get down that road, then you know,
but I mean,
I'll hit them.
Yeah, but not even. I mean, I call them tomorrow and be like, hey, I'm in cosmetology school. This is where I'm at. What do I need to do? Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, since you've been on the website and you kind of know, go and call and ask those questions, because they'll answer them. Okay. But you saying it's far down the line, nah, man, it's right there. Like, it's right there. It's just a different type of hustle. You have to go out and get it. You got to make those phone calls. And it's good that you're following that page. Like everything that they post.
Okay.
Like it all.
Okay.
Like it all.
Good.
Because when you're on there, boom, boom, they're gonna be like, who is that biker? Oh, they're a barber. Oh, okay. Now you're on the radar.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You want to be on that, and then and I see you start following other barbers, start following other hairstylists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you already know, as soon as things take off and all that, I get hit with stuff. So, you know, I've personally been waiting for someone to get to that point so I can bless someone, because I was blessed, man. I was blessed to be in this position as quick as it took off, because sometimes it takes people 10 years, 13 years. I mean, I talked to people, I worked in the hair salon for 10 years, and then you know, at the same time trying to get into the union. You got in here quick, and I was, you know, in my head, I'm like, because I had a fucking plan. You know, I didn't want, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people just fell into the union. You know, you and I know what we want to do.
Right.
It's right there. It's right there.
This is amazing, Brett. I always love speaking with you when I can catch you, because I know you're a busy person.
I appreciate you. I'm so glad that like we finally did this, because I've been wanting to, and I've been feeling really bad that I haven't had, like, not just the time, but like the energy that I want to give you. You know what I'm saying? Like
No.
You know, so, but I appreciate it so much.
I get it. You know, like I said, the first time you blessed the platform was amazing. You blessed the platform again, and you know, this is like I said, even though what I wanted to do with this, it doesn't work, or it doesn't move the way that I wanted to move if I don't have people like you that are willing to come to this platform and share. And I know it's a lot for a lot of people, because sometimes it's an uncomfortable setting to like really, you know, get to that point where you get to that vulnerable moment, or how should you say something that doesn't sound like that, or how, you know, we definitely in a time now where everything is so sensitive.
Yeah.
And I get it, you know, especially even with the word talk your barber shit. You know, some people look at it like, oh shit, are they on there like bashing people?
Right.
Yeah. But then when they come to it, they're like, and then I hear, like, even when I went to the show, people came up and said, hey man, I love your show. I love talking. I love the guests that you have on there, and I love how you allow them to share and speak. And you know, the presence from it is so heartwarming, and I'm learning a lot, and I can't ask for anything more. So at the end of the day, you the best. I thank you, and I'm looking forward for us to keep doing this. Like we got to keep recapping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the next time it should be me interviewing you and seeing what you've been up to. Because I mean, like, man, you've really been doing your thing, and I'm really proud of you. And like, to be honest, like, I'm even seeing your cuts progress, man, and everything's just coming together, dog. And like, you do the reels, you do all that, man. You keep yourself. You're doing good. You're putting yourself out there. You're making yourself known. And that's huge to go to those shows and to be recognized, because those shows are huge, man.
Yeah.
Those shows are huge. And maybe that's probably why I never really went, because they're so, like, it's a little intimidating, you know what I'm saying? And I am not, I'll do big crowds, but if I don't really have to, I won't. But like, for you to go to a barber show and for someone to come up to you and tell you that, man, I hope you took that moment in, because that's big to go to something like that. Because would you go BarberCon?
Yeah, BarberCon.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest ones, dog.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It was dope. I like it.
Yeah, because as much as you say it's us, we wouldn't be able to talk no shit without you. You know what I'm saying? So it does start. It starts with a good foundation, and I know myself and everyone that you've interviewed is blessed to even get to know you, man, because you're a good person, and everything's on its way for you. I know it is, because of what you're doing and how hard you work and how faithful you are, and just really just doing your thing. So don't stop, keep doing it, but keep that balance. Yeah.
I'm trying. All right, love. I'm gonna let you have the rest of your Sunday.
Yes.
Enjoy it and relax.
I appreciate you.
And take a load off.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
Yes, it's all love.
All right. Text me your address. I'm gonna send you some stuff. I got some comparison stuff, so I want to send it to you.
All right, cool. Appreciate you.
All right.
All right, man. Peace.
All right. Bye.